99.9 Punk World Radio FM. This is DJ Immortal, and we're joined by the phenomenal bass player of the iconic band Authority Zero. We got Mike Spero right here live, and he is coming in all the way from Barcelona, Spain. This is a 9-hour time difference. Mike, how was your flight all the way across there, all across overseas to Barcelona?
Yeah, it was good. We left Phoenix and then we stopped in Chicago, and the four out of five of us made it today. We're still waiting on our singer, Jason, to get here. He had some delays in Indiana due to the weather, but he's actually on his way now. And it's about 2:35 in the morning, so he's going to get here with plenty of time to take a little nap and then kick off the first show tonight in Barcelona at Razzmatazz.
And also, before we jump into this interview, last night I was at the Mest show out there in Montreal, Quebec. And I know for the people that are listening, they're probably like, how does this have anything to do with Authority Zero? With that being said, I was hanging backstage with Gary Smash, the drummer of Mest, and he was actually telling me to relay a message to you. And I had this in my notes so I wouldn't forget, because he told me this after about 15 hours of just nonstop working. So he said he wanted to say, first and foremost, tell him to say I said hello, and that he is an inspiration and one of the best damn bass players to ever do it.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Gary. I hope they're having great shows up in Canada. You know, we were just there about a month ago up in Quebec ourselves, and we did a show in Montreal as well, and they're just such wonderful people up there, and so we had a great time, and I hope those guys are killing it and having fun too.
It definitely was a good turnout last night. I think they have 1 or 2 more dates left. I know today they're in Toronto. I'm not sure if that's the wrap of their tour, but they definitely had definitely a great show last night. It was a great turnout.
Good. I'm glad.
But Mike, I want to take you to the early 2000s, where you were actually a member of the band called Threat 77. For the fans of yours that aren't quite familiar with this particular group, can you tell us the story behind Threat?
That was our high school band. We all grew up in Phoenix, and we met at Barry Goldwater High School. I had just moved into town from Oceanside, California, and the first 2 people that I met were Justin Spurrier and Jake Steve. Had started this band when I think they were maybe freshmen or sophomores. And Justin came right up to me and handed me a flyer to his show that Friday. And I said, oh, great. Like, I'm trying to, get plugged in here in Phoenix and see what's going on. So I went to the show and I saw him play. And then maybe a week after that, their bass player at the time moved to Colorado, and they asked, hey, do you play the bass? I heard you were a bass player. I said, yeah. And they happened to live in the neighborhood too. And so that just kind of became like our high school life for a couple of years. We didn't really have friends at the band. And so we went to Jake's house every day, and we just would play in the garage and write songs. And then eventually, when we all got old enough, we started DIY touring through the Pacific Southwest. And I think a couple of times we maybe even made it as far north as like Washington. Just kind of doing it on our own, DIY style, kids. And we found ourselves in some weird situations. We didn't get paid a lot. We didn't really know what we were doing. And we wrote a couple records, and that kind of brought us into where we are now. Justin and myself, we met the Authority Zero camp through just working together, playing shows, doing merch for the band, and then here we are. This is how I met the whole team that I'm a part of now. So that's where it all started.
And when you said you were in a lot of crazy situations, I'm pretty sure any individuals within the not even just punk rock community, but music industry in general can probably guess what you're getting at. But with that being said, without really getting into those situations, what is some great advice you can actually give some of these up and coming artists and bands that kind of want to kind of steer away from the same type of shiesty situations? Because like we all know they're out there.
Oh, oh gosh, man. I mean, the adventures are going to be what they are, man. But for anyone who's young and looking to start touring professionally and playing, playing, and I would say the biggest lesson that I've learned since then was to just treat everybody that's involved with the show with the highest amount of respect that you can. When I was young, I didn't really think about, the fact that like the guy running security at the door was just as important as someone who might be playing on stage, or the people that are running the audio and everything else, and that came later, as I got older. But yeah, man, everybody, it takes a village to do this kind of thing, and and ultimately the audience is just as important as the band is. Without them, it's just a band practice, and without the team, then we don't have any organization. So everybody matters, and so just be grateful, be super thankful, and you know, just yeah, just have a humble heart about it, because we're so lucky that we even get to do this.
And also another band that you were a part of, right around the same time of Flight 77, was actually Down by Fire. I wasn't wonder if you can actually just tell us briefly a bit more about your transition from Flight 77 to Down by Fire, because I know Down by Fire was your current was your actually a project that you did for quite a few years as well into the mid 2010s.
Yeah, so I guess what I failed to mention earlier is it's the same band. We just did a name change when I think we might have been like 17 or 18, and there was something I can't remember what the conversation was exactly, but we thought like we don't want to be a number band, we need to rebrand. And the only thing that changed musically was our good friend Tyler Sargent, who didn't play with us at the time, joined the band, and so we became a four piece, and we started writing a little more, I guess, guitar forward type songs now that we had two guitar players. But it's the same group.
I actually did not know that. I actually thought Flight 77 and Down by Fire was actually two separate groups. So that even as a fan of yours, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, just a rebrand. It was all internally. It was all the same people, all the same buds, and like I said, we were our only friends in high school. We didn't really hang out with anyone other than just maybe the five of us that were surrounding that thing, and so um, yeah, we just did it every day. That was what we did for fun after school.
And also, aside from bands for a moment, you also do your own solo work as well. And April 9th of 2013, you released a phenomenal 11-track album titled Nomadic Romantic. I was wondering if you could actually just tell us the story behind this phenomenal record, and of course, what ultimately inspired you to kind of venture into a solo career for yourself.
Oh yeah, so I did write music for Down by Fire, and it was a team effort. But um, after things slowed down with the band, and Authority Zero wasn't happening yet, I just had songs that I had written. I was living with a guy in Tempe. His name's Alex Alvey Adams, and he's got a great rock and roll band now in San Francisco called Alvey and the Breakfast Pigs, if you'd like to check it out. But I lived at Alvey's house, and he was going through audio recording school at Mesa Community College, and I had all these songs. He had a he had kind of like a little personal goal that he wanted to try and record every instrument for a record, because at the time in school it was like, okay, you're on drums and another guy's going to be on vocals and we're going to teach you how to do it. And he was like, I want to do it at my house and I want to track everything. I said, that's funny, because I actually want to try and play everything on a record. I don't know if I can, but we decided to team up, the two of us, and just kick some songs out from his house and see if we could even make it happen. And so yeah, that's where that came from. I I can tell you, I probably don't even play any of those songs anymore. If someone really wants to hear one, I have to go back and listen and kind of remember how it goes. But it was a really fun time, and it was just a great creative opportunity for the two of us to just see if we could make something happen. And yeah, I guess we did.
And when you say if you have to go back and try to remember it, have you? I know you did a recent solo tour not too long ago, back in April and May. Did you have anybody actually at those shows actually shooting out any nomadic romantic songs that actually wanted you to play? Because I know some people are like that. The fans get drunk and they start like, like DJ requesting songs, just throwing shit out there.
They do love to do that sometimes. Yeah, it's so fun. Um, it's really rare around Phoenix when I play as a solo act, that someone will come up and actually want to hear one of my tunes. And so when someone does, I really appreciate it, and I hope that I can remember them and actually kind of somewhat play them right. Um, and I try, but I do mess up lyrics a lot, and once in a while somebody knows my tune better than I do, and I'll have them come up and help me sing it because sometimes I'll need some help. Um, but no, it's so great when you can remember you've got something in your brain, a song or a poem or something, and then it means enough to someone else that they would actually even come up and ask you to play it. I mean, that's just so nice, and and I never expect it, so it's always a nice shock, you know.
I gotta say, "Misery Go Round" is honestly in my opinion, the best song off that record. And also, "Wednesday at Breakfast" is another great one, and it's a phenomenal record.
Oh,
But those two are my favorites.
oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate you saying that.
And also, as well, looks like Darth Frazier 1324 actually said that album actually inspired him to play guitar. When I saw that, I had to bring that up because that's actually gnarly.
Oh, no kidding. Wow, that's so cool. Let's see. I don't even think I owned a guitar of my own at that point. Albie was a guitar player, and he still is a great one. And I think we did a lot of those tracks on, I think it was like a semi-hollow Gretsch that he had at the house, and we did a lot of the amplification through this 1971 Trainer Bassmaster YB something that I actually still have. Um, it's an old like tube bass head that I got at a pawn shop, and it turns out it's a great bass head, but it's also a really great guitar head if you're looking for kind of that garage sort of type of sound. So yeah, Trainer. Actually, if I'm correct, that's a Canadian company.
I believe so, yes.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, shout out Trainer. Thanks for making such great stuff.
And he just popped up again and said, I actually, Mike Spero, I saw him back at the Paper Tiger on the 26th of June, and he was amazing as always.
Oh, at the Paper Tiger. It was just this past June, right?
I believe so. I believe he said
Oh
June
my Lord.
26th.
I was okay, yeah, yeah. I don't know if you can tell. I've still got a little bit of a cough. I became deathly ill that day. I, uh, I don't remember hanging out with a lot of people at the Paper Tiger. We were there with Pinata Protest and the Voodoo Glow Skulls on this Texas tour. And for whatever reason, I was running like 102 fever that day. So I was in the back a lot. I was sleeping in the van and trying to sweat it out. Um, I do remember that trying to get through that show was really tough. Um, so yeah, man, I'm glad you had a great time, and I'm sorry I didn't hang out too much. I was feeling terrible. But that's so cool. Thanks a lot.
Especially too, you guys tour so much. Like I think I told Chris and Jason this when I interviewed both of them previously. But I gotta say, you guys are absolutely animals when it comes to tour, and I say that in the nicest way because you guys are always on tour. You guys are the busiest and most active punk rock band I've actually ever seen because it's like you guys do a huge ass tour and then like not even a day later another tour gets announced and you're on the road and I'm like damn, like I call myself DJ Immortal, but then I look at you and I scratch my head and go, damn, I'm not really that immortal.
Oh, come on, man.
I
That's
will
so
say you
cool.
guys
But
tour nonstop, which is phenomenal because one, that's nowadays that's what pays the bills, and two, I mean, you're out there putting on shows for so many fans. Like, I had friends that when I saw you guys in Ottawa, they were like, "Man, I wish I could see them." I'm like, "They'll be back sooner or later. Trust me. Just let them go around the globe.
Oh,
They'll be back."
oh yeah, definitely. And speaking of Ontario, you know, we we developed a relationship with Steve Riles from Belvedere and Merit Based Booking out here in Europe back in 2013. He really he bailed us out of a situation. We we had like 6 days off in a row out here. And as you said, you know, if we're out here and we're not working, it gets expensive, and you know, it's kind of tough to survive unless we've got work to do every day. And so Dally, our drummer, just happened to text Steve because he was out on tour with Belvedere at the same time, and he said, "Hey, do you happen to know of any shows that maybe we could just hop on and maybe just sell some merch and you know, I don't even know if we can get paid, but we just need to play." And Steve came back to us within a day, and he had gotten us four things, which was amazing. And so we were so thankful for that. At the end of the run, we did a show together in no, it was in the middle of the run. We did a show together in Munich, and he had brought up the possibility that maybe he wanted to try and take on some other bands for his booking company, and he wondered if we might be interested. And so we talked it over, and um, that that trip, we were just so thankful for what he was able. We said, yeah, we we like to, you know, maybe talk to our current guy and see how he's feeling about everything. Would you know? Would we get a blessing to um, maybe go work with someone else? And our guy at the time, Ian, said, yeah, it's fine. So since then, Steve's been able to connect us back with parts of Canada that we haven't seen in a long time. Um, Before we met Steve, it had been 9 years since we had toured through Western Canada between Manitoba and BC. And one of the things that we were super excited about last year is that he brought us through Ontario for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think we did 7 or 8 shows together. And Ottawa was one of them. And I think we went as let's see, we went as far north as Timmins. Um, we got to play London, Kerry, and just meet a whole bunch of new people. Um, and we're super looking forward to coming back to Ontario and playing again. As soon as the time is right, we're coming back. So we're stoked, and we're just so thankful, you know.
And that Ontario gig, I will say, was definitely a wild night, but it was definitely fun. I mean, just getting in the mosh pit. I mean, it's fun, but then the next morning you feel it, and you're like, "Damn, man! I realize why I don't do this all the
Oh,
time."
yeah, yeah. That's why they tell us to stretch. I'm learning that. You know, I'm going to be 40 in a couple of years, and it's starting with me too. Um,
I
I
think the stretching. I might need to take that advice to start stretching. Even last night, I thought maybe it was just fluke when I went to your guys' show and jumped in the mosh pit and hurt the next day. I did like one mini mosh pit at Mess last night, and I'm hurting today. So I think the pre-stretch game
yeah,
ritual needs to go into needs to come into play.
me too. Yeah, I got to get better at that too, man.
But also, as well, going into the Authority Zero side of things, I know we kind of already touched on it as well, but taking you back to the very beginning of you actually, joining this amazing legendary band, what is the story behind it? Like, how did you originally get connected with Jason and the rest of the guys and join Authority Zero?
Well, the way that I met them was when I was still touring in Down by Fire. Um, we had some shows that we had booked on our own, leaving Arizona, kind of heading towards Kansas. And when we were in Albuquerque, there was a cancellation for whatever reason, and we didn't have a show. Albuquerque was always kind of like a second home base for us when we were young, and so we had a guy that we were already staying with, and you know, we wanted to see if we could just try and play, kind of like the situation that we had with Authority and Steve back in 2023. And so Justin Spurrier, who played guitar for DBF, I think he was on MySpace back then, and he was looking at like show announcements around town. He said, "Oh, no kidding! Authority Zero's in town. We should go down there. They're at the launch pad." And so we did, right around load-in time, like 2 or 3 o'clock, and um, we I think the first person from the camp that we saw was Authority's drummer at the time, Jim Wilcox. And he goes, "Hey, I remember you guys. Like you're from Phoenix." And we go, "Yeah, funny story. We don't have a show, and we just wondered, like, could we come in and do 20 minutes and open the show and maybe sell some merch?" And he goes, "Funny story. There's another band that's on this package. A tour package is like, for those that don't know, it's, two or three bands will say, okay, we're basically going to caravan together. We're going to do every show, every bill across the whole tour is going to be the same, two or three or four bands or whatever it is. And so the band that was supposed to be opening had to cancel just a day before, and they said, "Hold on, let me make a call." So Jim came back about an hour later, and he goes, "Yeah, you can play the show. Also, do you want to just hop on the rest of the tour? We're going all the way out to Florida, and then we're going to end in Atlanta." And I think in Down by Fire, I think that was, we might have had two more shows. Um, I think there was maybe like a Kansas date and something else in between, and we just said we gotta take this opportunity. And so um, we we got in touch with Kansas, and the other one might have been Missouri, and we said we can't make it, and we decided to hop on the Authority Zero tour and follow them around for about 2 weeks, opening the tour. And so that's how we all got close. And then later on, after our band had kind of slowed down, people were getting married and home life was you know, taking its course. And um, Justin called me. He was tour managing Authority Zero at the time, and he asked, "Hey, are you interested in selling some merch for the band?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Like, I love to tour, and I don't have anything else going on here in Phoenix." So I joined the team just selling T-shirts for a couple of years. And shortly after that, in 2013, Jeremy, our bass player at the time, decided that it wasn't right for him to be in the band anymore. And so guys were, the position for a bass player was open. And rather than hold auditions and tie in, they took a chance on me and just decided that it might be smart to try and keep the family together, the tour team together, and just see how I did. So we did a warm up in March of that year, and it seemed to do okay. And then the first tour that was supposed to happen was, I think it'd be April 6th, April something. It was a European tour, and it was about 34 days. And so I did that tour, and after that, I think everyone decided that it was a good fit, and we've yeah, we've been here working together since then.
And I know you're a phenomenal bass player. You're phenomenal at what you do, but was it difficult to actually learn a lot of the old Authority Zero songs? Because some of those songs, I mean, just listening to them, they go really fast and really hard. But I know when it comes to individuals
Yeah.
like yourself, the gifted individuals, sometimes it comes naturally. But was it difficult to be like, damn, like this little tough?
Yes, but I had I was set up for I was set up for success, I think, already, because um, as I said, I had toured for a couple of years with the band selling t-shirts, and so not only did I see the show every night for a couple of years from the merch table, but we always double up in the rooms, right? So Jason and Brandon will have a room, and so and so and whatever. So we always would team up. And Jeremy, our bass player, was my guy that I would always share rooms with. And so a lot of the nights that we hung out together, we talked about bass playing, and specifically Authority Zero parts. And he would even show me how he played certain things. And when it came time for me to take the spot, I think I fully understood how Jeremy would have played. But the great thing, Authority, was that they all gave me the freedom to reinvent the way that I felt. Um, well, I could reinterpret them my way, and I could kind of just like put my little stamp on them. everybody's got their own little quirks that kind of make their musical personality what it is. And they allowed me to do that. And so the more I got comfortable with the songs, the more I had some freedom to kind of change little things here and there. And after all these years now, I think that the way that I'm playing these old songs is probably much different from what they used to be. But again, I mean, it's been years of development and just feel comfortable.
And also, the very first Authority Zero record you were a part of was Broadcasting to the Nations that was released on June 2nd, 2017. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us the story behind this amazing record. And of course, what was it like just being in the studio recording your first Authority Zero record? Because for quite a few years, from 2013 to 2017, you were playing songs that were previously recorded by other members, but this time you actually really got to put your stamp
Hmm.
within your stamp and seal within the Authority Zero legacy.
Yeah, the songs that all came together on broadcasting were written by Jason and myself. We didn't have a full-time guitar player at the time that we were writing that record. So Dan Ade played the guitars on that record, but he wasn't there for the writing process. We didn't know who was going to come into the band at that time. And so Jason lives maybe 5 miles from me in Tempe, Arizona, and we would hang out on his back patio and we would play just acoustic guitars and kind of run ideas, riffs, and melodies, and we would just slowly kind of develop them until we thought we had 15 or 16. And by the time they all had come together, Dan, the next step was we thought, okay, well, let's record these. And then
Looks like he is loading back in, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Can you hear us, Mike?
I think I'm out.
Oh, there we go. Just heard you. I think you're back on, Mike.
You got me?
I got you. Yeah, gotta love that hotel Wi-Fi, man.
Yeah, it's
On
probably
it.
on my end.
Oh no, and honestly, it might be on my end as well. I mean, I think just the distance, because I do know Barcelona to Canada. I mean, there's a difference there, right? Just in general. But
Yeah,
no, you guys did a
maybe just a little
phenomenal.
one.
Just a little bit. I mean, it's only, I think,
Yeah.
overseas. 9 hours difference. But when you
Hmm.
were last we heard was actually you mentioned about being on Jason's back deck writing music, and well, not writing, shooting ideas and playing acoustic guitar. It's really cool that you guys had the opportunity to just live like so close to one another. It definitely probably
Yeah.
made for band practice and ideas shooting back and forth so much easier. I mean, doing stuff in person is so much easier than emails and
Yeah.
sending files back and forth. I mean, in person definitely gets the job done much quicker.
For sure, man. I mean, we all grew up in a different kind of way before file sharing and digital collaborations were really a thing, and so we're very comfortable um, trying to write music that way, where it's like, hey, let's just get in a room together and let's kick around ideas, and um, if the room feels good, then we believe that it probably sounds good on record. We like that kind of organic way of doing things, and of course that's not always possible, but yeah, it's great when it is.
And you guys actually on this album, you guys actually produced probably one of the best summer songs since 2017, which is Summer Sickness. Did you guys have any idea that was going to become every single Authority Zero listener and fans summer anthem? Because I will say since 2017 there has not been a summer since that I don't blast Summer Sickness.
Oh, that's so cool to hear. No, I don't think so. I remember writing it with Jay. I had I had written some chords and I had kind of a general groove, and he decided that he wanted to lyrically kind of touch on his personal history with the band. Of course, he's the only founding member left, and so um, when you listen to the song, you'll hear him kind of reference old lyrics or old themes throughout the years that he was responsible for. And I think, and I don't think it was so much, that he wanted to kind of redo the past, but I think he wanted to just kind of hint at like, man, I've been doing this for a long time, and I think it's okay to reflect on stuff like that once in a while. And yeah, he ended up writing a really great tune around it. So that's super cool that you dig it, man.
It has such a unique sound to it, like just the instrumentals you guys put onto it and the vocals, the way Jason actually delivers it. I mean, everything about it is a very unique and authentic song, but it definitely holds up, man. I really think it's actually one of the most authentic Authority Zero songs out there, in my opinion.
Oh, you're the coolest, man. Thanks so much.
But also, June 18th, 2021, you guys actually released your most recent album titled Ollie Ollie Oxenfree. With that being said, because I do know this album is phenomenal and whatnot, but that was 2021, and I guess I'm speaking for all the Authority
Yeah.
Zero fans at this point. Is there new music on the way? And if there is, what can your fans actually expect from these up and coming potential releases from Authority Zero?
Well, one thing that Authority Zero has always done, basically since the beginning, is we like to strip the songs down and we like to kind of reinterpret them a different way and play them live, and we call that rhythm and boost. Um, there's been three of them so far, and we just did one at the Rebel Lounge in Phoenix. We played on Thursday, May 1st. Um, we did songs from broadcasting, and there's a couple other surprises too, but we did the more recent songs, and even some from Ollie Ollie Oxenfree as well. And we played them all acoustic, and they're currently being mixed down, and we plan to release that live record later on in the year. So there's a new acoustic live record coming, and Brandon and myself, we write a lot of music for the band, but we write a lot of music just in general, and there are a lot of ideas that are always on the table here, and we're looking forward to getting back into the studio for a studio album here, maybe next year. We'll see. I mean, the artistic process is what it is, and it takes its own time. But we feel good about next year being a good possibility for us to start laying some new stuff down. And we're excited about that too.
And as the old saying goes, good things come to those who wait. And I do know waiting for a new record is definitely a good thing. So I think I can speak on the behalf of most fans. We don't mind waiting because we know what you guys are going to deliver is going to be an absolute masterpiece when it comes to punk rock.
Uh, you're too kind, man. Thank you.
But also, as we mentioned at the very beginning of this broadcast as well, right now you're currently sitting in Barcelona, Spain, where you guys will be overseas until the middle of September. Then I think you have like 1 or 2 days off, judging by the tour schedule on your website, and then you're right back into Western Canada. Can you tell us a bit more about this current tour and what dates are actually currently coming up? That way, if we have some international viewers that stumble upon this and might not have heard about your guys' shows, they can snag themselves some tickets if they are indeed still available by the time they either watch this live or a week or so
Hmm.
after this on our YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot. No, for anybody in Europe, we're gonna be here for this month. We're in Spain this week, and we'll be all over Germany and Austria the following week. We've got some festival dates. We're making appearances at Brack Rock this year and at Punk Rock Holiday, and we'll be in Italy, and we'll be in Portugal. So yeah, again, just if you're interested, please check out the website for the dates. As you said, September is exciting for us. We get to go play some shows in South America for the first time in our whole career, and we just can't wait to go meet everybody down there in Brazil. And we've got a show in Chile as well. And directly after that, we're meeting up with our buddies in the Mad Caddies once more, and we'll see y'all in Western Canada, September, October. So yeah, man, it'll be fun.
And I know you just mentioned that it's going to be your Authority Zero's very first time in South America. Is there actually anything you're looking forward to experiencing when you go out to South America? Anything you want to do out there that's kind of on your bucket list to take care of?
No, no, I'm terrible at having a bucket list. I everywhere I go, touring the United States as a musician, there's a lot of Groundhog Day type elements. It's like, okay, it's another downtown, it's another freeway, it's another venue, and what makes it special to me is the people. And I remember different locations because of the folks that come out and spend time with us. And so, yeah, if you're in the area and you'd like to come say hi, we would love to meet you. So,
And Mike, aside from the acoustic record that you mentioned as well, and the potential process of the new studio album in the future, and all these amazing shows in Western Canada, so like currently in Spain and South America, what is next for yourself and Authority Zero? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview that you still want to touch on, talk about, or promote?
no, I don't think so, man. I mean, it's, for us, it's, as you said, we tour heavily. We love playing live shows, and we're always writing. So we're excited to come back to the studio. There's an acoustic record coming out, so please keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna see y'all one way or the other sooner or later here.
And Mike, before we actually part ways here this evening, or in your case, I should say this morning, I know the listeners know how to follow Authority Zero, but how do they actually go about following your accounts across social media? That way they can stay updated, not only just on Authority Zero, but maybe if there is going to be another solo tour or album in the future, who knows what time will bring. But how could they go about following the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mike Spero?
Well, yeah, I'm on Instagram, and that's about it. I'm terrible at social media, so the best way to keep up with what I'm doing musically is to follow the band, and you can keep an eye on my Instagram too, but no promises. I'm terrible about posting stuff. So yeah, our handle is Authority Zero Music. If you want to see what we're up to.
And I'm going to say, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time this morning to chat here on the radio station. I know you're jet lagged. I know you just came from, the United States all the way to Barcelona. So thank you so much for just taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule just to chat with me for the past 40 minutes. It was such an honor. Looking forward to seeing you guys again when you do hit Eastern Ontario, Canada at some point in the
Yeah.
future. But as for now, safe travels to yourself and the rest of Authority Zero. And I don't even need to say good luck. All I'm going to say is tear the roof off every single venue, because I know you guys are going to do it. But Mike, thank you so much for your time, man.
Oh man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, you're most certainly welcome, Mike. We definitely shall talk again soon, and I'll see you at the next show
Yep.
down here in Canada. Have a good
Yeah,
morning,
you
Mike.
know it, man. Okay, will do. See you around.